In poker, you can divide most players into 4 different categories describing their style of play. The type of hands a player elects to play and how a player chooses to bet these hands determine each category. Most beginners in poker tend to fall into the same category. They play way too many mediocre hands and they call way too many bets with these hands. The style is called loose passive. Loose because they play all kinds of hands, passive because they make the mistake of hardly ever raising. Loose passive players are often referred to as calling stations. And believe me, you don't want to be a calling station. When choosing to play only good and strong starting hands, a poker player is called tight. Tight players rarely get involved in a pot unless they hold a premium hand with solid winning potential. Unlike loose players, tight players will actually fold to a bet if they miss the flop. Although their starting requirements are a little more sensible than the loose passive players, I will not recommend anyone to try and imitate the tight passive style, as I personally believe it to be weak and predictable. Weak because it fails to take advantage of the powerful starting hands. Predictable because you after a short while will be able to read them as an open book. Tight aggressive may be the most effective style of play at lower level cash games and in early stages of a tournament. But the style does have some limitations. Strong opponents will know you don't play junk, and they will exploit that by frequently attacking your blinds and jumping all over you when low cards hit the flop. Especially in the later stages of a tournament, you simply cannot afford being too tight in your choice of starting hands. That's why I prefer a more loose aggressive style, frequently attacking my opponents with more questionable hands. This keeps them guessing as they never know what I'm holding. Personally, I recommend a style in between tight aggressive and loose aggressive. But remember, always aggressive.